What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time since I've made any new videos, posted really anything at all, and as you guys know, I'm really limited in what kind of content I can make and I can put up here on the channel. So I'm real limited in what what I could do. So I've really just kind of been waiting on my 6th month. 6 months here. We're almost there. We're at 5 and some change now. So I figured, you know what, I'll go ahead and make the video, get it uploaded, and kind of answer some questions that I've seen pop up on the channel while we're waiting for this customer to be ready to unload what they've got in the trailer. So yeah, man, it's almost been 6 months here with R+L Carriers doing LTL. And I'm going to be honest, yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about because it doesn't even feel like it's been that long. I got hired back on in April, and like as you guys know, I left food service to do this. And people are asking me all the time, how's this compared to food service? How's it been going? How you been liking it? And I'm going to be 100% honest here. This is a kind of job you really can't compare to food service. It's a completely different world, a completely different kind of delivery and kind of trucking. So there's really not a huge comparison to food service. All I could say about that is I'm glad to have a steady schedule. I'm glad to be able to get to work at the same time, 8:30 in the morning every morning. I'm glad to be able to get back home and be home every single night. That's a huge change from food service. I'm not completely stressing myself out trying to get all 1,200 cases off the truck, going and staying overnight at a hotel in a different state. It's just a huge different lifestyle change, and it's definitely for the better. Being home every night is, obviously one of the biggest plus sides to having a local delivery job. Now, in every terminal is going to be different because I've got people that are saying, asking me, pay, hours, stuff like that. And everybody's just pretty much going to be different. So, it's not going to be the same, say if you're in St. Louis or Kansas City or, anywhere else around the country. So basically, the hours that I get for the week is usually 55 to 60. Sometimes it could be down like 50 or 51, but usually it's about 55 hours is pretty much my average. Usually, 10 or 11 hour days. I've got a route, and my route, the first stop is usually about 2 hours away from the terminal. So I've got that 2 hour drive, to start out my day. And then usually I'll drive about 270 to 340 some odd miles a day. Depends on where I've got to go. And I've got my 2 hour drive back. So usually no matter where I end, I usually either have like an 1.5 hour to 2 hour drive back. So obviously you've got to count all the drive time for that. So if you're in the city local to closer to your terminal and you've only got a 20-minute drive back, it's going to impact things quite a bit. But a lot more enjoyable than having to stay out in a hotel out in Iowa for 2 nights and then make that 6 hour drive back the next day, go to bed early, and then get up at like 2 in the morning just to go sling some more cases of food. So I know there's still some food service people on here that watch the videos every once in a while. If food service is your thing, if you enjoy it, if you're making the money and you're happy with it, that's more power to you. It wasn't for me. I tried it. I did it for a year to get my experience so I can move into what I wanted to do, which is LTL delivery. Another question I see asked a lot is, what does LTL stand for? And LTL actually stands for less than truckload. So let me make that make a little bit more sense. Over the road, or OTR, they carry trailer loads of freight across the whole entire country. What happens to those trailer loads of freight is they get broken down and brought to terminals such as mine in Springfield, Missouri, local R+L terminals, whatever, Estes, whoever else does LTL, and that gets put on trailers like this one and distributed from that terminal to where it needs to go in whatever city my route's in. So say I've got a customer in Rolla, Missouri that I'm going to. I could have something on my trailer going to that customer that came from California. So it has to come on a truckload truck to get dispersed onto less than truckload delivery trucks and taken to that customer. Obviously, over the road does direct to customers as well. But as far as the LTL road or LTL world goes, we've got 48-foot trailers with the lift gates. We deliver to the customers on a daily basis, and we've also got 53-foot trailers that run line haul, run team operations, going across the country, taking bulk loads of freight and bringing them to our terminals to get broken down, put on the trailers, and distributed to the different cities and the different areas. So hopefully that makes it make just a little bit more sense. So we do that. Estes does that. Old Dominion, XPO, those are all LTL companies that do that same type of operation. That's how LTL works. That's how customers like flooring companies, lumber companies, paint shops, pretty much you name it, I've delivered something to that kind of place just within these 6 months of doing this job. It's another thing. It's really cool because you're always delivering something different. You're not delivering the same thing. You're not touching the same product. You're always delivering something new. Always kind of finding new businesses and figuring new things out around that you may or may not have known exist. I mean, it's a fun job. It really is. And the goal throughout the day is obviously get all of your freight delivered, get all of it off. If you can't contact a customer, you can't get there, something happens, you could just take it back. With the food service, taking back products usually is pretty much unacceptable. Freight, obviously people are going to be expecting that to be delivered, but if I've got a customer that I've called, the office has called, nobody can get in touch with them, there's no way to know if you could get your semi-truck down that road to deliver them or not. It's going to have to go back and we're going to have to try it again the next day if we can get in contact with that customer. And usually that's how it happens, is the next day they'll answer the phone. So yeah, that's just a few topics that I like about the job. Something that differentiates it from food service and makes it a lot more enjoyable, in my opinion. On top of being home every night. Now my hours. A lot of people ask about hours. We start typically at 8:30 in the morning. Usually leave about 9 or 9:30. Go out on my route. Recently, I've been getting back to the yard at 6 to 6:30. Sometimes it could be like 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night. Sometimes you might not have enough time at the end of the day or much time to spend with your wife or your family or whatever the case may be. So it's only going to be up to you to make that decision if that's something that you are willing to work with and something that you want to do. If that works out for you, then you can try it and do it. If it doesn't work out for you, you don't think it's going to work out for you, maybe probably stay away from it. Find a job that keeps you within the city limits, or maybe in an office or somewhere where you're guaranteed to leave by 5 o'clock or 5:30 every single day and go straight home. Another thing about this job compared to the food service job, I have an assigned tractor. This is my tractor. I drive it every single day. It's a 2018, I believe, Peterbilt 579. It's got like 355,000 miles on it. I've taken this truck, I've cleaned it up. I try to keep everything pretty much organized and as clean as I possibly can. And that's the perks of having your own tractor, is you have the ability to do that. Now, I've got the wheel covers on the outside, the lug nut covers on the outside, all that stuff going on, and I'm able to keep it clean because I'm the only one who drives this. Unless I take a vacation day, somebody else might use it, but I am pretty much guaranteed to have this tractor every single day of the week, which is something that I wanted the whole entire time I was in food service. But having to slip seat and change trucks out all the time, I'd always have to remember to get everything. I couldn't leave, say, my phone mount in the truck. I couldn't leave any detail or cleaning supplies in the truck because I was never going to see that truck again for a couple of weeks, and I would never know, if I forget something in that truck, I'm probably not going to get it back. Yeah, I've got my own truck, my own routes. Everything's going pretty smoothly. LTL, it's a little rougher to get started with, especially if you get started like me. When I got started, we were extremely busy. R+L stays really busy from what I could tell, at least our terminal does. And especially with Yellow and all that, Yellow going out of business, we've just increasingly gotten more busy. We're finally kind of slowing down just a little bit as we get into the fall season, so we all kind of get a little bit of a break. And and it's been fun. It's been good. I've enjoyed it a lot. I've learned a lot of new things. Really puts some of your driving skills to the test because of some of the docks and stuff you got to back into, or some of the residential houses and neighborhoods you have to go into. Even though this is just a 45-foot trailer, I've had to take 48s in places that people maybe shouldn't be going down. You've got to learn a lot of problem solving. You got to use Google Satellite. maps. You've got to call the customers. And you know, if you don't think you can get there, I can't stress this enough. If you're doing this job, you've got to deliver somebody, and you see on Google Maps that it's really narrow or really small, and you just know in the back of your mind that I am not going to be able to get my truck in there and get back out safely, just don't go. You know, make arrangements with that customer, and if they can't make arrangements, you know, just you're gonna have to call dispatch or call your office and see what we can figure out, because you know, the whole goal about everything is to be safe, to not destroy people's property, not destroy your equipment, and you know, most importantly, just keep yourself safe and out of a potentially bad situation. I've gotten into pretty sticky situations, but I've managed to be able to get myself out. So it's just a big learning process, but if I could take, you know, anything and give that information to you guys, that's one thing that I would definitely for sure you know, keep in the back of your mind, and just always remember when you're out doing any of these deliveries, you know, out here in any of these, you know, areas, like this is a downtown area, you've got to you know, be cautious of everything down here. You know, but that's, you know, my biggest piece of advice. We're on our way to continue the rest of our day, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it provided some more information to you all. If you've got any questions or comments, feel free to shoot them over to my Instagram, comment down below. I'm on TikTok, follow all that stuff in the description, and we will see you guys in the next video.